Hi, I'm Rachel and this is Rachel's Rustics. Welcome or welcome back. On my channel, I create farmhouse rustic DIYs. I create seasonal, functional, and all year round crafts. If that's something you enjoy, please stick around. Let's get into the video. Okay, so here I have a wood round that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use Waverly's ivory colored chalk paint. And I'm going to give this 2 coats of that paint. I'm doing a real rough coat. I'm not trying to make it perfect. It'll save me a little bit of sanding at the end. So I have not a completely dry brush, but enough to get on there but not cover the entire thing. And then I've got a couple of those hairs or whatever they're called coming out of the paintbrush, so I just picked them up real quick. Okay, and then I use my heat tool, and then I did a second coat, like I said. I just didn't do that on camera. And then I used a higher grit sandpaper so that I could get a smoother surface, because I'm going to put vinyl on this. So I wanted to make sure that it was a really leveled surface. And then I wipe it down with a little towel. And I also, over to the right, you can see it's like a little vacuum cleaner type of thing, so I use that as well to get all the dust off. And I have already printed out my vinyls, and I'm taking the Cricut transfer tape, and I just held that up to the vinyl to make sure that I had the correct size. And then I start weeding the vinyl. This is my favorite part of a lot of videos. I enjoy watching this. Very satisfying. And I just use my scissors to make it a little bit easier, because some of the pieces will come off while you're weeding if you're not careful. So it just makes it a little easier. And then I take that transfer tape and I just put it on top of the words, and I varnish it front and back. And then I try to line that up as good as I could. So I took a ruler just as some little guide points to make sure that it was as straight as I could get it. And as long as you don't push down too hard, most vinyl will come right back up. And this is something you could do. You could use stencils, you could use stickers, you could hand draw it if you like, if you like your handwriting. I don't, so that's why I did it this way. And then I had some Christmas trees that I printed out from Cricut's Design Space, and I put them on there. Alright, so this is some ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree as well. I really wanted to make sure that you saw that truck, so I'm trying to find the proper size, looking at the width of how big I want the bow, and then also trying to make sure that I keep that truck in frame. So I just cut that down, and then I make sure that it's the proper size. I think I cut off the excess too. Sorry it's off the camera. I was trying to get it lined up well. And then I ended up cutting a piece off so it wasn't overlapping. And then I just took a little piece of hot glue, or a little bead, I guess, of hot glue, just to make it stick together easier. And took some twine, and in the center of that bow I used that twine, and I double knotted the twine. And then again, just placing it up there, making sure it's not too big, it's not going to cover too much. And then I wanted to have another layer of ribbon, something more neutral, so I grabbed the end of the roll that I had of this twine. I think I got this at Dollar General, actually, that twine there, or I mean the ribbon. I'm going to do the same thing. I take the twine, I double knot it, but when I put the other bow on top of this bow, it was too bulky, and I felt like it was going to stick off of the sign too much. Like right there's when I realized it. So I just took my scissors and I cut the twine and then I just put them together so that it wouldn't be so bulky. And then I just do that over again. Just double knot that. Cutting off the excess. Most of the time I do tails on my bows, but with the sign, you know, it wouldn't have looked right. It would have covered a lot of the sign, so I didn't do that. So then I grabbed a whole bunch of Christmas picks that I had from years prior, and I just chose this simple, I think it's boxwood, that's called. So I just grabbed 2 pieces and stuck them end to end, and I hot glue those to the sign right in the middle above the Merry Christmas words. And I hold that down, making sure that it sticks in place. Now, I do take a lot of my projects apart, so I didn't put too much hot glue on this. And then I found these berries. I also got these at the Dollar Tree, and I just put one little bunch on each side so that you can see them sticking from behind the bow, and I hot glued those down as well. Just holding that down, making sure it's not going to go anywhere. It's wire, so I wanted to make sure that it's not going anywhere. It's always really hard for me to decide which picks to use. So here, these are 2 little jingle bells that I had. I'm assuming that it came from Dollar Tree because that's where I buy most of my stuff, either Dollar Tree or Walmart. And it had a little piece of wire holding them together and then sticking out. So I just put that underneath of the twine to hold it onto the bow. And then I just kind of shimmied it up to the top so it would hang down properly, and then glued that on right in the center. So this was a quick one. It was pretty easy. I think it's nice and neutral, and it was a lot of fun to make. I haven't been using my Cricut a lot lately, so I wanted to kind of get back into it. And there it is. And then in the end, I put a hanger on it. Okay, so this is a little snowman that I made last year, but when I packed it up, I guess I didn't do the best job and the bottom part came off. So this is just 3 little boxes that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm sure that you guys recognize they're the same ones that are sitting to the right. So these came inside just like that. I showed you guys to know where it came from in the Dollar Tree. So it's like a little drawer, and I took the inside of the drawer and took 3 of those, and then I just took a jumbo popsicle stick, or these are the giant actually, and I got those at Walmart, and I'm just trying to cover those little butterflies. And I take some hot glue and I glue that to the inside, because the way that I put these in my house, the back is to like a wall or something, so you're not going to see them anyway. But if you wanted to, you could take some like spackle or something and fill those butterflies in if you wanted to, if that bothers you. And then I take that same ivory chalk paint by Waverly, and I give these just one heavier coat, not complete coat, because I do want it to be a little rustic. And I just paint all 3 of those just with one coat, like I said. I didn't end up sanding these down as much as I did the other one, but I think it still looks nice the way that it came out. So I did all 3, and then off the camera I sanded them, and now I'm just wiping them down to make sure that all the dust and everything is off of those boxes. And then I'm lining them up, and I use a pencil to try and find where the glue is going to go, because it's pretty difficult when you're lining them up. You know, it's not perfect. It's not like straight. I don't know how to say it. It's like kind of offset from the one before it. So I was just trying to use a pencil to help me with where I was going to put my glue, because you can't really see. Okay, so I use the rest of that popsicle stick, and I just draw a little nose, a little carrot nose for the snow lady. And whenever I cut popsicle sticks, I always make sure that the side that I want to not be cut is to the left of the scissors, because when you cut down on popsicle stick, the right side of the scissor, it splinters. So it's just a helpful tip for you guys. So then I try, now this is my second attempt at drawing the eyes. And I just did not like the way that it turned out. First I used like a Sharpie, and then I ended up using a paint marker. But I left this in here so that I could show you guys how easy it is if you mess up. I literally just took that paint, went over it, dried it, painted again, dried it again. And now I have a fresh canvas to work with. So then I take some Waverly Pumpkin chalk paint, and I paint that little nose that I made on the front and then all of the sides. And I did 2 coats. I only showed 1, but I did 2. And then I drew a face with pencil that I was happy with. And then I take that paint marker and go over the pencil. I always use pencil first. And I almost got rid of this one, but I was tired of making faces. I'm not good at making faces like this. So then I just glue that little nose on, and I'm doing it the opposite way because I want them to face each other. So when I do like present them, I'll face them towards one another. These are ornaments that I found at the Dollar General last year. And I actually got them on clearance, so they were probably like $1.50 or something for each pack. And I thought that that would be cute. I attempted to do a wooden hat like I did on the male snowman, but it just wasn't working out for me. I didn't like the way it turned out, and then I came across these. So I just take that little ornament, cut the top off, like the twine, and then I glue that to the top of her head. And then because I put this same exact ribbon on the male snowman, I wanted to have it match a little bit better. So I took some more of that and I cut it down a little bit so that I can wrap it around her hat just like I did with his last year. So I just cut it down and I fit it behind the like the berries and the little pine leaf there, and I just hot glue it down. Just trim off the excess. She's so cute. So then I go through my ribbons, and I've got this lace ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree, and then I also have like this like little, looks like pearls almost, but I wasn't liking the way that looked, so I ended up using the lace ribbon, and I wrapped that around her kind of like a scarf just to make her a little more feminine. So I wrap that around her, get the right sizing, and I cut that down. And then I wrap it around her the way that I want it to be, and I just put 2 little tiny beads of hot glue on either side. At first I wasn't going to glue it at all, but I decided I wanted it to lay right. So I just glued that down, and then I did the same on the other side, making sure it was laying straight. It's like right at the bottom of that first box. And then I tied a little knot like you would a scarf. And then I hot glue that down because it didn't want to stay down all the way. So I just put a little dab of hot glue. And then I end up cutting the ends of that ribbon. At first I did them the same length, but that's not how you normally do a scarf. So I cut one a little bit shorter than the other side. So these are really cool. There's a reindeer, a little bell with a bow, rocking horse. There's 2 different kinds of snowflakes. That one, and then a Christmas tree, and then the snowflake there, it was already on the paper. And I'll link these in the description box. I got these last year for Christmas, and I use them all the time. So at first I colored these. I wanted to match a little bit more, so I colored this was like a barn red. It's apple barrel paint, and I bought a whole bunch. I love this color. I bought a whole bunch of them from Walmart last year, but it just it took a whole lot of time to mix it. It did not want to mix right. You could see like a lot of black in it. But I took that once I got it mixed properly, and I painted the snowflakes. I ended up changing the color because it didn't really match with the color of the berries and the buffalo check that the male snowman has. So I take my heat gun and I try to dry those a little bit quicker, and then I hot glue those to the front of the lady snowman or snow woman. And I don't remember which paint color I used, but this is Waverly, and it's either crimson or lacquer. One of them I like more than the other, but I took that and I covered over that barn red that I had. You don't see like a big difference on the camera, but in person you can see a bigger difference. And that's it. That's all I did for those guys. These were really easy to make. If you wanted to make the wood snowman, you could use one of those ornament hats, or you could use, these are just like little scrap pieces of wood that I had that I painted, sanded, and glued together. But that's it. Those are my projects. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And I will have more videos coming in the future. I plan to get another video up hopefully by the end of next week. Oh, they are so cute. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.